Good evening and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. I'm your host, Marty Ford, if you want to call it that, hosting. Hopefully you guys are having a great Tuesday, good kickoff to your week. And I don't really know what we're going to tackle tonight. I've got a box from Jim Rose we'll jump into. I know what it is, but I'm really not sure what to expect, but we'll kind of look at it and compare it to some other things we got laying around so we can get an idea of scale. So we'll jump into that. I don't know what's new in the slot car world this week. I really haven't. I've been busy the last 2 days at work. Had some meetings over lunch and some things like that. I haven't really paid much attention to what's going on out there. Dave Kennedy had a great live stream, got a ton of cars. I think he got the whole 2025 range that's out for Scalextric. I get corrected on how to pronounce that all the time. I apologize. He got every one of those cars, which was a huge haul. I don't know what Dave does with all those cars, but he did send a few to me a couple weeks ago, and I've been having some fun with a few of those. It's been cool. So, yeah. I don't know. I haven't really had time to spend a lot of time at the track. Kind of disappointed in that, but have run a few more laps with this. I'm getting ready to take it apart and do a few things to it. Some ideas that George and Shotgun Dave had for me to try. We'll do that. Did run some laps with this on the oval. Still having lap timing issues on the oval. Just the sensor's not working. I have some fast lap cars. One was supposed to show up in the mail today that Jerry sent out. So Jerry, thanks. It arrived in Chillicothe at our post office late this morning, which means it'll be out tomorrow. So I won't get to share it on the live stream, but I've got the truck from Shotgun Dave. I have Jerry's car. I have Greg's car. I've got Paul's car. I have a lot of fast lap challenges to record once I get the timing right. So what I might do is just go ahead and record them and not run in the outside lane because I can time the inside lanes and then eliminate the red lane times from all the other cars to get an idea how they stack up. So if I can't get the sensor to start working after I rewired it, then I'm just going to have to replace it. But again, it's just been a time thing. I haven't had time to do it. So what's going on in your world today? I don't know who all is in the chat. I haven't taken a look yet, but awesome that there are 14 likes. Thanks, guys. That really means a lot. It helps out with the algorithm. Looks like we've got 61 online already. That's incredible. I am starting to see the summer slowdown with the channel and views and things like that on the channel, but I've had to stop looking at analytics. I think I told you guys that a long time ago, because it's a stress that I don't need. Not that I should be stressed out about it. I do this because I have a lot of fun. So the stock market right now is what's stressing me out, but I may never get to retire, but I know that I'm not alone in that, and all of you are being impacted. Not all of you, but those of you here in the United States are being impacted by that. So hopefully that straightens out soon. But that is all the politics we're going to get into tonight. You guys know that I don't enjoy that, and we don't allow that to happen in the chat. Just remember that tonight. I know it's real easy to get to go there, but let's just keep it slot car related. So I appreciate it. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. Dungeon Racer. And Marty isn't even live yet, and all you peeps are here. Yep, they show up early. Hey, Chris. Hey, thanks for the message today. I appreciate it. Hey, Hank, good to have you. Hey, John Mark, Todd, welcome. Jerry, yep, I should get your card, Jerry, tomorrow morning in the mail would be my guess. We'll see that then. Hey, Bo, welcome from Germany. White Wolf is in the house. Dusty is here. Thanks, Dusty, for being here. Yeah, countdown 60 seconds. I was a few minutes late. I had to take my system down, and I've had a lot of questions lately about what I use for my live streams, and probably would be a good time to maybe make a breakdown video of that. That really wouldn't be slot car related, but there's enough of you doing live streams now that you kind of want to know how I do things, what kind of software I use, what kind of cameras I use, what do I use for audio, all the things. So maybe we'll do a breakdown video at some point to put it out there to help people out. DeFingers, welcome. Good to have you, Nick. Hello. Hey, Jim. Jim, got the box. I have not opened it yet. And I got it. And I didn't make it down to the track, and I just wanted to wait. So I thought, well, what a better time to open this than on a Tuesday night. Shotgun Dave. Now, an update from Shotgun Dave and George. I posted my video about the cars, and the guys, like, my feedback, I think, was good. I think it's awesome. I'm seeing some of the paint jobs on some of them getting posted is really, really pretty cool, which makes me want to finish my other bodies. So maybe I'll get into that here this week if the weather warms up. It's a little cold here right now. And I've been getting tips from some people on how to improve this car, and I've worked on it a little bit. It's getting better and better. Honestly, it's getting better every time I run laps with it. But I know the guys have been giving me updates that they've really worked on lowering the center of gravity for these cars and really getting some weight out of the top up high. And Shotgun Dave sent me a message yesterday and a video, and his car was ripping around the track. I was super impressed. So I know those guys are working hard on those. For those of you who supported the Three Amigos 3D printing and ordered your cars from them, I appreciate it, because these are two good friends of mine, and it's awesome. It's awesome to see what they're doing and the potential of that, especially with kind of what we're facing. Slot cars overseas could get real expensive, and that makes it a little more appetizing to spend money on an American-made slot car. And I think they're primed to fill that void a little bit. So I know George just sent me a picture of the car on the scale, weighing in at 105 grams. George, that's crazy. You're down below a Revo slot now, man. That is just going to translate so well to the track. Because at 122 grams, I got the car performing really good on my plastic track. Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. So guys, they're making improvements. They're listening to feedback. That's the beautiful thing about that whole project. So I'm just really excited that these guys have allowed me to test for them and have sent me things to look at and talk about on the channel. And I'm just super blessed by that. But yeah, fantastic, George. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Hey, Greg, I need to send your cars back to you. I apologize. I've got a handful of cars that need to go back to people. I've got like 10 boxes sitting here that need to go out to the mail. So I'll get those out to you. I'll try to get them out this week. I've just been, life's been busy. Hey, Mark, happy Tuesday. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, Chris. So, wow, we got a lot of people. Hey, Steve. Steve is prepping for the 24 race. That's one of the things I had on my list to talk about is the Michigan 24 is this weekend. I know they're practicing on Friday, and then the race will start Saturday morning around 10 a.m., and it's 24 hours of driving, so it's not actually won't be over at 10 a.m. on Sunday. It'll be over on Sunday afternoon. And so long races. Those are 42-minute stints. I think 42, 43 minutes. And man, that would just it's a challenge. So my hope is to get up there on Saturday and to take some video and just meet up with a lot of the guys and go support Team Grizzly, and go have some fun for a little bit. But it's a pretty good drive. And so I wish those guys the best. Bunch of good drivers on that team. They should perform really well. And then John Erdman, some of you know John. John is in the chat sometimes. He is actually covering that event and streaming it for Mike. And so I'm excited for those to be able to tune in. And if I make it on Saturday, I'm going to bring my USB mic, so maybe I can plug into John's system and do some commentary during the game. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Hey, John Tucci, welcome. Hey, Slightly Mad. Good to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Steve. Doing well, man. Hey, Troy. Thanks for tuning in. Every week we have new people that jump in the chat, and it's great to see. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream on Tuesdays. Again, sometimes I do not feel like we accomplish anything, but we have some fun bench racing, right? So as long as that's what's happening, we'll keep doing this. So, hey, Ben, thanks for tuning in. Hey, KR. A happy Tuesday from balmy Western PA, man. We got the same weather you've got today. It's pretty. It's been in the 40s all day. It's kind of looking like that most of the week. So, but yep, good to have you, Ben. I'm hoping to make it back up to the cave at some point. Get some more time on that wood track. John Albright, good to see you. All the usual suspects and a bag of chips. That's right. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I've been looking forward to the conversation tonight, so I don't know what all we'll get into, but let's see. I finally, 15 minutes in, I'm just getting to when I came live. A big group welcome to you all. There you go, Dusty. Jim, the box is empty. It might be. I haven't opened it yet. Hey, Don. Thanks for tuning in. Gary, Roger. Thanks for tuning in. Is that Craig is your first name, Craig? Okay, so I will no longer call you Duck626. Thanks. Hey, Hanola. Good to have you. Thanks for tuning in. A box and a box and a box and a box, yeah. It's a bunch of Russian nested boxes. Reva slots now at the cave. Yeah, Daniel had a great night. Hey, Daniel. Speaking of Daniel. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, Ben, I think Reva slots on that track would be a lot of fun. I would enjoy that. I enjoy racing Revos. They probably perform really well on that wood track too. David David's working on his pink Lola, and it's going to make it a pink pig. I was watching his right before we came live. I was watching his video. I didn't get a chance to comment on it before I went live, David. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the final finished product of that. That should be fun. Guys, there's so much great content being created out there right now on YouTube. And a bunch of the people are in the chat, which is really cool. I appreciate that they hang out here. Help me out. What else? Who else do we have? There's Joe. Joe went live last night, and Jen wiped the floor with him again every Monday night. It's all good, Joe. You try hard. You really do. But it's fun watching you guys. It's always a blast. So well done. So tune in to Herreras Carrera on Monday nights in his live stream, and you get to watch his wife beat up on him on the track. He just can't hang. But hey, man, I appreciate the message earlier today. Thanks, dude. Warren sent me a message too. Hey, DW, good to have you. Thanks. Hey, Jeff G. John, greetings. Doug, welcome, Doug. PB and J. Good evening, PB and J. Charlie, welcome. Glad you're here. Slot cars are our sanctuary. John, that's a great comment. Because they really are. I mean, it's just a way to not watch the stock market. Come down here and mess with my slot cars and tune some cars and run some laps. And so, yeah, it is a sanctuary. Kind of treat the basement that way. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Feel the same way. Harry K, thanks for tuning in. Watching the Phillies at the same time. Yeah, I watched. I was flipping through the channels and saw that they were playing, and I saw that they threw 3 straight sliders at Bryce, and he couldn't handle them. But that won't happen the whole game. Can only hope to contain him. Yeah, Jerry. So there's a new hub in Indianapolis that they opened up back in November, and so many packages go through Indianapolis, and my postmaster said that it's a mess, and that they just never know, that stuff gets shipped back and forth and missorted a lot until they get all the kinks worked out, and just when you think it's getting better, something like what happens to your package. I noticed that it made it to Columbus, went back to Indianapolis, back to Columbus, and it went to Chillicothe today. So that means we should be good. But hey, Kirby. Hey, Mad P. Man, got a lot of people in the chat today. Guys, thanks for tuning in. You're listening because you'll be driving home soon. All right, be safe. Be safe on the drive home. So what can we get into? Question. Kirby has a question. What's the time it takes to print out one of those resin bodies? Kirby, that's a good question. I'm guessing that maybe a couple hours, 3 or 4 hours, possibly. And George says, thanks to Dave for that weight reduction. George and Dave could probably answer that. Hey, Jamie. I got a phone call from Oliver today, from Professor Motor. Working on some things with Oliver. It was a great conversation. Oliver is going to jump on for a live stream, and we're actually gonna like pre-record it because it just works out better for his schedule. Next Friday, and so we'll sit down, have a chat, and I'll release that. But he told me that he talked to you, Jamie, had some questions, so he had the same kind of questions for me. So, yeah, man. I'm glad you're working on slot cars tonight. That's great. So, it's 48-minute heats. Okay. Thanks, Dungeon. Appreciate that. Patrick, what's going on, Patrick? Patrick, I talked to Oliver about fast laps today. So put a plug in there. Three Bean is checking in at dinner. Tucci. I guess so. Hey, there's Greg. We have 48-minute heat set aside for you. Better bring your controller. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, do you want to lose or break your car? Those are your two options by allowing me to run a 48-minute heat. Maybe one day, bro. Hey, Phil. Hey, yeah, man. I'm glad I was able to help. I hope it wasn't too confusing. But it was great to talk to you. Glad I could help. Hey, Bill. Yeah, we just got a bunch of people in tonight. This is great. Chips and nuts. Oh, Jim, I did watch a lot of the live stream this past weekend, and great job as always commentating. But the camera angles looked great on the track. You guys really stepped up the game there at Motown. It was really, really good. I know that they'll eventually do those on their channel. So if you guys like to watch live slot car races, live streamed, go follow Motown on YouTube. And they just had great coverage, and it looked like everybody was having a lot of fun. So that's what I enjoy about watching your live stream. The dogs have entered the chat. Hey, Oscar. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. Caves will run Friday nights as well as Wednesdays for the rest of the season. Nice, Ben. That's cool. New friends and talking slots is accomplishing more than people think. Thanks, Marty. You know, I had a conversation about that the other day. I think I offended somebody when I said we didn't accomplish anything. And Steve Sweeney always comments that same sentiment, that just enjoys gathering to talk slot cars. And if we did that, then we've accomplished something. But I had somebody reach out to me that said that they don't really like it when I say that because I guess they didn't realize I was kind of joking. Self-deprecation is part of my personality. I kind of always beat up myself, and I have a few people out there that bring me back to square one. But they basically said that they looked forward to Tuesdays, and that Tuesdays meant a lot to them because it was a place it was something that they looked forward to every week, and it was a place that they felt like they belonged, and that meant a lot. I appreciate that they shared that with me because that's kind of how I feel about, if I was, Dave Kennedy and Slot R, they've done their State of the Union kind of things, and that would be one of the things I talked about is just recognize the importance of having times like this for us to chat about slot cars. And I was talking to Ian Douglas about it, and Ian and Todd Early, they are getting ready to release a podcast, a slot car podcast of their own. And I don't know if that episode's really released yet, but Ian shared it with me, and it was really, really good. And it's going to be a pre-recorded thing. It won't be something they do live, but I think it'll be really good from a racer standpoint. That's the perspective that they will come at the podcast, but it should be really, really high quality. So I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot, participate in a lot of live streams. I try to catch Shenanigans on Thursdays, every other Thursday when they're on. I try to catch Monday nights with Joe. Ernest, Easy E on Saturday when he goes live. I try to catch that when I can. So there's a lot of choices. So it's great that you guys choose to be here on Tuesday nights. I appreciate it. But I have a feeling that, our numbers will dwindle a little bit while the weather's nice and people are out mowing grass and got, things they can do outside. Slot cars will be the last thing on their minds, but we'll still be here. All right. There you go. Shotgun, I need your mail address. There you go. Okay, I was going to say, Oscar, I can send it to you. But Team DO is an up-and-comer. Yeah, Daniel is really getting good at tuning cars and getting really great at driving, so I'm proud of him. Joe is the Rain Man of slot cars, says he's a good driver, but poor Joe. Yeah, Charlie, you're right. The Phillies are going to look pretty good. Jerry says the Mets are trying to chase the Phillies. Yeah, my buddy Mike is a big Mets fan, which is cool. Cool. You guys got it taken care of. Great. Yeah, George, it's unfortunate. They'll get it. They'll get it figured out. So it's just a matter of time, Yeah. Stock market down, run laps. Pissed off at the world, run laps. Just need a bit of a break, more laps. It's good medicine, John. So, yep, good stuff. Yep. I feel that. Four and a half hours at 0.20 millimeters. Okay. So that's how long it takes. The question about how long it takes to print a resin printed body, 4.5 hours. So it's pretty time consuming. Jerry says his printer is slower, 6 to 7 hours. Yeah. I am 2 weeks into assembling a wood track I purchased. Have about 10 track connections with braids and the power supply and lap counting. Can't wait to have the speedway up. Hank, that's awesome. I'd love to see a picture of that. I don't know if you'll post that on Home Racing World forums or something like that, where we can see pictures of it. But I'm always up. I just enjoy watching people build their tracks and all the different designs. And there's some really great designs out there. Eventually, I'll probably build one. Hey, Daryl. And welcome to group therapy. I'm Dr. Ford. Good stuff. Yeah, Greg, that's cool. You've got some cheers from the crowd. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, looks like you're having fun with your NSRs. Enjoyed the picture with all the cars on the track. The NSRs looking good. Todd. So I have two. I have two sheepadoodles. And they're brothers from a different litter, but they have the same parents. And one, if somebody walks past the house and they can see out the window, he goes crazy. And then if he was outside in the yard, he might lick them to death. But man, he barks and barks and barks, and that's what you were hearing. So, yep. But I wouldn't trade him. Gladstone, good to have you. For slot car parts, Professor Motor and Slot Car Corner are my go-to folks. I have quite a few retailers that I order from, but I do order from Slot Car Corner and Professor Motor a lot. They're always been great service from those guys. I ordered a lot from Bruce at Cincy Slots. Ordered some things from Mike at Cloverleaf. I usually don't order from the West Coast side just because it takes a little longer to get here. But sometimes they're the only ones that have it. So 132 and Electric Dreams and what's the Carrera place in the Midwest. I've ordered some stuff from Great Traditions here lately. They just had some things. That's who I got my DS controller from. So yeah, good retailers. My dogs are barking at Finn. It was Finn, yes, Daryl. Finn was the one barking. All right. Well, I am not completely through, but we will open up the box that Jim has sent me. Dog barked, all ours had to chime in. Dusty, the podcast is called Spinning Pinions, but I have a feeling it's going to be posted on Ian's page unless they start a YouTube channel for that particularly. Thanks, Daryl. Yep. Support our friends at Roast if you want some coffee. I've haven't been drinking very much coffee lately, so trying to do a little better. And as we open this, it was kind of hard to talk about, but I got some got chewed out by my doctor about a month ago about some things that I wasn't taking care of. So now I'm trying to take care of them. For the young guys out there, they don't have to worry about that yet, but for a few of us older folks, so now I'm learning to live with a few things that very good. So let's set the box aside. See what we got. So shout out to Jim for sending this to me. I imagine instructions will come. What I need to do next. Jim's got it wrapped up pretty good. So I don't do a lot of 124. I've got a couple 124 scale cars. I've got all three of them right there. And then a fourth one I've got, oh, it's right there too. Yeah, so I have four. And here we are. We have the prototype of the 124 scale Miata. From a scale perspective, this looks really good. Like scale-wise, I mean, the Miata is a really small car. And those spec class races, those are a blast to watch. Those cars are all over the place and bump drafting and all kinds of things. But what's really cool about this car is this chassis. This is fantastic. So this is a Scale Auto 124 chassis and car. It's running foams. Take a look at the chassis. At first glance, this This is a really cool chassis. It's aluminum plate. I'm trying to figure out the motor pod piece. Jim, do you know what motor this is running? Gosh, we may have to put this on the track during the stream. But I know that this is not the finished body. I think this is a prototype body. So I don't know how much I should push the car, but I'm curious to know how fast it's going to be on my track. And these foams, this might hook up okay on the plastic track. I'd be curious. So what do you think? The Mazda Miata. Now, what we know about this is when it gets released, it's going to be like a white kit, but then they're going to have decal sets that you can order with it. I think they're going to be like $149, so $189. But 124 scale. So 124 versus 132. So here it is side by side with my Group C. So it's about the same, obviously not the same height, but it's close to the same length just because the Miata is a small car. How does it compare to the Dodge? Not much bigger from a wheelbase standpoint. Really close. And that can happen because the Miata is just a little longer because the Miata is such a small car. Now let me grab one of my 124 cars and see how it compares to that. All right. Now we have the 124 BRM. Now you can see quite a bit of size difference there. Look at the width. Just a little wider, a little longer wheelbase. See that? It weighs in at, I think Jim did all this on his channel already. It weighs in at 138 grams, my scale, compared to the BRM, which is 173. That's interesting. Let's see how it compares to a Carrera. And it gets dwarfed by the Carrera 124. There you go. Wow. Big size difference. So, let me check. The April pennant race. Yeah, there's plenty of time. Lots of time. Let me see. It jumped up on me. Hey, JD. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Chief Redback. We're doing well. Hey, Kurt. You coming north to witness the Team Grizzly magic? Waiting. It'll be good to see you, Kurt. I'm looking forward to seeing how fast you guys are. Show me how the pros do it. Thanks for tuning in, Kurt. Good to hear from you, man. Hope you're doing well. Question. Hey, Marty, how many slot cars can you fit in my new toolbox? So I have to admit that I can't fit all my cars in there. This was a temporary solution, but they were all sitting out they were getting dirty just because the dust and stuff in the basement. And so I put a bunch of them in there. I still have room for a few more, but I've got some cars on the other shelves just because I wanted some interest out here. But I think the last count, I have about 81 slot cars now. I remember when I had 5. That wasn't that long ago. I'm still planning on putting in some laps in the nice weather, but it will definitely be clay pigeon season soon. Cool. Yeah, Dusty's getting old, so he went to an e-bike. Olga the Postal Destroyer. Yeah, John, I appreciate that. I'm telling you what, Lynn is the best. You cannot. I have ordered from LEB, and within 10 minutes or less, I've had the tracking number for the package. It's been packed up and is being sent out, and like they don't mess around, and I really appreciate that because usually when I place the order, I already need it, right? I don't plan ahead far enough. So yeah, man. Hey, Easy. Good to have you. Thanks for being here, Ernest. Yeah, Kurt, you're always welcome, man. It doesn't matter how long it's been. Rough waters ahead. Some may go under. Let's all hope things don't turn out as bad as rumored. Yeah, could be bad, John. Hold on tight. Gary, Marty, you need a few more 124s. Yeah, I don't have very many. Yeah, Dusty, this is going to be... Dusty says, oh, dang. I'll be over for some laps. Yeah, man. You'll have to come over and run some on this. I'll throw it on the... I think I've got the camera set up. We'll go run a few laps here in a little bit. Jump in the trucks. I want to watch. Yeah, Gary, it's cool. Yeah, Jamie, it really is a sweet car. I could see this. The beauty of this from a 124 scale car is I think this chassis is going to work really well. And I know that it's probably made for a wood track. Oh, I was just looking. We can take it apart. All right, let's weigh the body itself. The body weighs 32 grams. The chassis is 108. So now let's take a closer look at the chassis from the top side. And what it's kind of reminding me is it reminds me of the C1 that's coming from MR slot car a little bit. Just in how it works. You've got a motor plate that I'm not seeing a lot of. I guess there is there is movement. And then it looks like we've got what size motor is that? A 20,000 RPM motor. An aluminum motor plate pod that floats on this on aluminum pan, and the wires routed really nice and neat. It does have a like a stiffener right there across the front, but what the body clips to is like a 3D printed material, and that floats independent of everything else. See if I can show you that. I'll try. It floats independent of the motor pod and the chassis. And fully adjustable front end. That's really cool. And then the body just snaps right back into these little posts on the body mount that floats. So you just kind of squeeze the body apart, and you're back in business. Yeah, that's a cool car. Great design. Throw it on the setup block here. See what kind of float we have. Yeah, I don't feel a ton of body float. Maybe it doesn't need it on the wood track. But it does float some. The fronts are off. I don't know if this car is really set up. I know it's a prototype, so my guess is the setup probably isn't great. The front end is higher on the driver's side, and so maybe I'll do some adjustment before I get too serious with it on the track. Be curious. Cool, Jim. Thanks for sending that. It's very cool. But I think they will have decal kits available so that you can that are pre-made for the Miata. Cool class. It's small enough that it would work on the Carrera track without any problems, really. It's probably going to feel just like a big 1/32 scale car, just heavy. So I'm curious to know how it's going to run, but we'll get it out there. Let's see if there's anything. Grip and Rip Racing. I just bought some 1/32 roll cage figure from Slot Car Corner. They finally have them. I have reached the pinnacle of Maslow's pyramid. That's great. Hey, John Cook. John asked, how can we get one? And Daryl, is that Jim Rose's Fast Lap Challenge car? Yeah. John, I think that they will be available exclusive to Electric Dreams. It's a car that they designed to run on that new 8-lane. I forget the names of their raceways, but it's the track that they just built that they had moved from Buena Park, I think. Run that Miata. I think that it will. It should run pretty good. I don't know with how the foams will grip on the plastic. At 51, I can't race CX anymore. Scared my heart will explode. Brad BR adds, Brad's slot car circuit. Good evening. Just back from the doctor. I'm not dead yet. Tried making videos last. Learned some more. Yeah, I didn't have a fun doctor's appointment. Speak for yourselves. I'm lean, mean fighting machine. There you go. Yep, John, 35 years, the municipal water treatment for the city of San Francisco, I believe. DJ Patrick making spaghetti with garlic breadsticks. There you go. Got to stay away from the pasta now. Yeah, it's a great looking car. I think we'll not have any problems fitting on Carrera track. It's probably going to be pretty tight on Polycar and any other 1/32 scale with a little closer lane spacing, but probably will still work. It just might be, if you're racing one car on it, running laps, probably fine, but running two cars on it is good. Will probably be a little tight. So that would be my concern. Just not a lot of room. I don't know how tough these are going to be, although I think the chassis hold up to about anything. But the body seems fairly light, and probably just trying to keep it light. But it's not quite Lexan light. So for like a 124 car. Hey, Ron. Good to have you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you guys. Wow, 104 people watching, 64 likes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. John, I think you would be able to run one. I think it would probably be super tight to run two side by side, but you probably could make it happen. It just would be. I mean, I'll throw it on with another 1/32 car and see how tight it is on this track. But yeah, I bet you could run this on your scaly track. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, it's a small 124 scale car for sure. Bo says his asparagus harvest is a disaster. Harry keeps giving me Phillies updates. That's great. Dusty says he's not counting. I have a feeling that Dusty has more cars than I do. Or we're really close. Daryl, too many flat cars. Dungeon, 81 cars, that's all. Dungeon, this channel was 3 years old in February. And I started with one car, like everybody. And then for the longest time, I only had like 5 cars. So, yeah. Yep, Daryl, you're right. Those are still rookie numbers. I'm still a rookie. George, where did you get the acrylic box shelves for your slot cars? I know he's got some shelving that came from Racetrack Scenics, but it's not acrylic. When will Fast Laps be released, and will it have fuel for analog? I have to think about that, if it has fuel for analog. Patrick was in earlier. I know that he's getting close. You know, every time you think you're close, you find another little bug or something. I'm sure he's trying to work out. Hey, Raul. Thanks, man. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. John, don't count him, damn it. Yeah, Greg, I agree. I probably, LEB is probably why I order most everything. They just take good care of us. David says never count. Yeah, I get it. There you go. Yeah, I would love to talk to. It'd be awesome to get LEB on the live stream one night. To chat. It would be cool. They would definitely help us gain some insight on what we might be expecting down the road from the hobby and supply for the hobby. Mark just put in a pre-order. The wood one, the wood ones with the F1 cars is from Racetrack Scenics. Yeah, that's what I thought. Harry, that's crazy. If you order in the morning, you usually get it the next day. That's wild. Chris, I saw that the new those Golf 908s, those liveries are awesome. And I know that people are probably saying we get too many Golf liveries, but there are people who collect Golf livery cars. John Mark is one of them, and I like them. I always have. But there are people out there that collect them. I don't. I think you could put Golf livery on any car, and it would probably sell that car. But that Golf livery belongs on those 908s. They look fantastic. And I saw that they were starting to ship. I did not pre-order them because I already have a couple of 908s, and I'm already questioning why I didn't order them. Mainly because I know that I've got a pre-order for the C1, and I have another Lola on pre-order when those ship, and so I know I've already pre-spent some money. So that's why I haven't ordered one of the 908s, but those won't last. They might already be sold out, the pre-orders. So if you want one of those 908s in the Golf livery, probably should jump on it. The new 124 cars make me want to build another wood track. Yeah, like this would be great. I'll play with this on my wood track, my wood oval. But I feel like it has a 20K motor, and I feel like I'm just curious to know how that's going to handle that. But I'm guessing it's a torquey motor. Is that a long can or short can? No, it's a short can. 205 grams per centimeter, 20K. .20 amps. But we know those Scale Auto, I feel like the Scale Auto motors are usually a little underrated. So it'll be curious to see how it runs. What else do we have? Wow, Bo, it sounds like it's really dry over there. LAB has called me twice because they figure out that I ordered the wrong part based on the other parts I ordered, and I get it next normally. Troy, that's just great. That's just great customer service, right? They're looking at your order and say, if this is for this, it's probably the wrong part. That's fantastic that they reach out to you. They want to make sure that you're happy, and that goes a long way, man. That's really cool. We have an inventory, never bought a car. We already have, can be said for our Hot Wheels collection. Patrick says, Vin, I was about to let Marty know that we are really close to releasing Fast Laps. I'll coordinate with him to make an official announcement in the next couple of weeks. You guys know that I am a huge Fast Laps advocate. It's what I'm running on both of my tracks. I'm excited for that, Patrick. Thanks for sharing that. Love to help you out however we can. I feel like I'm a Fast Laps evangelist. I'm always talking to people, answering questions about it, and pointing people to Patrick, and Patrick's probably like, Marty, quit sending people my way. Jim says that it's an Electric Dreams exclusive summer if all goes well. That's cool. That's not that far. I should be painting my miniatures, but I'm not in the mood. I get it, Raul. Sometimes, like, I'll be honest with you, like this past week, I really haven't been in the mood to tune cars. Mainly because I've been tuning a bunch of cars. I haven't really been running a bunch of laps. And so the time I did get on the track this week, I was just running laps because that's what I wanted to do. Even though I've got a couple cars that I really need to work on. Will not initially have fuel for analog racing. It does for Carrera Digital. I've had other requests, so this may be a feature in the near future. Well done. That's the other thing I can say about Patrick. I've thrown some crazy ideas at him, and the ones that sort of make sense, he's actually implemented in the software, which is awesome. Bud Slots, Greg, and I were talking about how could we use fast laps for endurance racing, and I had an awesome conversation with Patrick one Friday evening. I think he had dropped his kid off to college and was coming home, and we talked for a little bit and kind of worked that out, how you could do that. So now you can schedule the number of rounds you want the drivers to go through the lanes. And so fast laps could time a 24-hour race without any problems, which was awesome. Oh, you got to get some painting done if you got a tournament at the end of the month. I'm now buying all the cars that you cannot afford from tomorrow on. Yeah, Bo. It's wreaking havoc on my 401k for sure. I don't even, Dusty and I were talking about it earlier, and I don't even want to say the number out loud because it hurts. Body pan float. Yeah, the body floats on a the mount floats independent of the chassis. You can see. So there is some float. It's funny that when I put it on the block, I don't feel that float. Yeah, I guess I do. I guess there is. I don't know what I was doing earlier. Yeah, there's quite a bit of body float. Okay. Josh, bring the Miata to the 24-hour. Yeah, I could easily do that. I don't know when I have to ship it back, so I could definitely bring it up, Josh. I have a 4-lane, so I'm not concerned after seeing it on the tech block. Thanks. Yeah, it should fit just fine on your 4-lane. No problems at all. Josh, hi everyone. I'm late. Finished loading the 1-to-1 scale race car and eating Italian food. Nice. Good night, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Warren. Appreciate you being here. Ah, Josh. See, Dickie was hiding behind his name. That's awesome. Good to know. The worst decision I made was to buy a display case for some of my cars. My wife saw it and said, "You own this many cars?" I had to admit that was only my 132nd cars. Jamie, that's hilarious. That might be why mine are in my toolbox, if I'm being honest. That's great. It got you in trouble, Jamie. Too funny. My first 132nd car was the Carrera Plymouth Superbird, petty blue black top. Patrick, that's cool. That's a great car. I love the petty paint scheme. And that's why I store them in cardboard boxes. Mine are all in boxes right to Bo, getting ready to build some shelves. 24 scale F1s. Yeah, I mean they make 124 scale F1 like flexi type cars, and it's just a F1 looking body. It's not quite an F1, but it kind of looks like it could be in the right light. Oh, George, you just reminded me. Yeah, I guess I have another car on pre-order that I forgot about. Dang it. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Brad says, I picked up the Ford Sierra with the Golf livery from LEB. Smoking deal right now. Yeah, that's cool. The Revo Slot Supra with the Golf livery. Who was showing that off? Shane, Slot Car Hub, was showing that off on his video. Man, that is a good looking car. Really, really cool. I like the oversized golf logos on the fenders. Now, does anybody plan to pick up the Ken Block Polycar? I knew that SCX was releasing a Ken Block car, but Polycar surprised me with releasing the Ken Block car, and I think that's going to be a super popular car. It might be my first Polycar car that I buy, but it's probably under pre-order, and that won't last very long. But I've watched Slot R's videos on tuning those Polycars, and I think that might be a decent car to pick up. You're reconfiguring your track again. Raul has a pretty decent 143rd collection too. That's right. Fist bump. Those two new Thunder slots look really, really good. I'm serious. There needs to be a Thunder Slot Nationals here in the United States. Somebody needs to sponsor that. That would be a great race. Maybe I just need to open up a club and sponsor that and host that race. Hey, Jamal. What's up, man? Hopefully you're doing well. Jamal's killing it with his scenery around his track. It's looking awesome. Well done, man. Good stuff. Well, what else do we have? Hey, Anthony. Good evening. Well, I'm about caught up to the chat. My wife is fantastic. She is one of the biggest supporters of my hobby, and I am lucky to have her. George, that's awesome that she supports you. I think the rest of us just like to give our wives a hard time. They probably are supportive in their own way. I told somebody the other day that they were like, Marty, you have a great space, the basement. I'm like, well, my wife's afraid to come down in the basement, so that's why I've been able to take it over. She never comes down here. She doesn't even know what I'm doing down here. She thinks I'm like FaceTiming somebody or something. I don't know. Marty, think Revo Slot. That's what you want it to do. Yeah, no, I agree. I think this chassis, I'm excited. I think the chassis is going to work really well. Marty is at the Porsche 911. Let's see. I don't have. No, this is not a Porsche 911. This is a Miata, Hank. If that's the one that's what you're referring to. Warren says, yes, absolutely, 100%. I'm not sure I missed what you were referring to. Hey, Ted from Florence, South Carolina. Welcome. Yeah, I don't really collect rally cars either, even though we've got a rally here in Chillicothe every summer that a great friend of mine who was actually really good friends with Ken Block, because Ken would come race. So I got to meet Ken a couple of times, which was really cool. But I think that whole Hoonigan organization is struggling a little bit with Ken, without Ken's leadership, which I hate to see because I think it's a cool brand. But yeah, I'm not really into rally cars either, but that car looks great, and it should run pretty good. Was just looking to pick up an F1 all from Polycar. Yeah, people like the Polycar F1s. What else do we have? My wife is a little apprehensive when we get a box the slot car size comes in now, Chris. Yeah, I get it. Well, here's the funny thing is I've had so much sent to me. Like I've ordered things, and then George has been sending me test stuff, and other boxes have shown up. I've got some fast lap cars, challenge cars that have come in. So there's been a bunch of boxes delivered over the last couple months. And it's like every time a box shows up, Jen's like, what is going on? She can't say anything. She gets a box every day, whether it's from Amazon or she's got her own little side hustle going on. So I think we're even. I'm done with the track. Just have to put the cameras up and finish cleaning. Nice. That's cool, Jamal. It looks great, man. I was just talking about your video showing off the new Supras. Shane, I think that the one with the golf livery looks really, really good. So, but great video. Thanks for showing those off. Although it may have cost me dollars because I'm probably going to end up ordering one. If you don't know how many cars you have, you can't lie to your wife. There you go. That's truth. Oh, Hank, you meant the Ken Block. The Ken Block that's coming out with Polycar. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Trying to remember where that was. All right. Where was that posted? Would it be on the Polycar page? Polycar. Yes. There we go. So let me bring this up, guys. It is not the 911. It is. Where's the browser? There it is. There you go. Here we go. Cam. All right, what just happened? Browser. So yeah, this is the Subaru, and that's just a great monster, typical Hoonigan livery. Very, very cool. So that's going to be a great car. So That should probably jump on that one as soon as it comes up. Yeah, Warren, I don't know if you have any insight on when that releases. I know that was I would say it's probably later this year, because those pictures are all prototype pictures. So I don't know when it's planning to release, but as soon as it goes on pre-sale, probably should order that if you want one. Jerry says, my wife doesn't mind too much. She knows it's a lot cheaper than when I raced RC. Yeah, Jerry, I agree. That's why I don't race RC anymore. It got expensive real quick. Yeah, Jamal, I agree. Dave's track looks fantastic. He's done a great job. Greg, Ken, my wife's Amazon driver, says hello quite often. Yeah, I know the feeling. Dusty, I have a cart full of stuff. I just need to place the order because I've got John Mark's and mine to build, and I need parts for those for the dirt track cars. I agree. I gave the UPS driver $160 for hiding my box. That's great. Don't forget, we play with toy cars. There is plenty of other trouble to get into. That's right. Too funny. DW says, I'm in the same boat, Dusty. Too much work and not enough slot time. Yeah, it's been a struggle to find slot time on the track. You're right. I know firsthand. Good stuff. Somehow I made it to the end of the chat at this point. I've caught up. So what else? What time is it? 9:18. Do I have the track camera set up? Track camera. Preset 1 recall. That's pretty close. All right, so we want to see how this Miata runs. Okay, we can do that. Need to turn the power on real quick to the track. Racetrack on. All right, guys. Hopefully you can hear me on that mic. What's the best way to clean foam tires? I've never ran foams, so I guess I don't really know what's best. So we will run. We can run it in the red lane. Oh boy. Yeah, grip could be a problem. Okay. The performance in this car is going to be pretty good, guys. I'm not sure that any of my other 124 cars will be able to keep up with this. The key will be on the plastic, like the foam tires. So maybe we're going to need to have some silicones made for these cars. Or rubber tires, for those of you who like rubber tires, or urethanes. So maybe find another tire. Oh, these would be These are going to be a blast to drive, guys. Okay, so they're not as fast as a 132nd car, but man, they drive like a real car. The foam, I don't know. This is getting, the more laps I do, the better this is getting. Now, again, it's not super fast, but I'm running 9.6s, 9.5s. Again, 4 lanes of these, I think would be a blast. The chassis seems to work really well. Nine 4.63. That's my fastest lap so far. All right, guys. That's a fun car. Jim, I don't know what your experience was because you got to run it on a wood track. It was probably a little better. I know that they run glue on the track, and I obviously don't have that. But I think if I had a set of silicones to fit this car would probably take a whole second off of its time. This is a cool car. Performed pretty well. I got down to 9. I ran a 9.386, I think, was my fastest lap, or one of the last couple laps I ran. That's really cool. Anthony, my track camera, this view right here, that is it's a DJI Pocket 3, Osmo Pocket 3, and I plug it in via USB, and I can use it in webcam mode and use it in my software that I use. The thing is it has tracking, and so if I stand in front of it and it sees my face, it does face tracking, and so it would follow me around, which is really pretty cool. It's a great camera. I think that's a great wide shot. Sorry, just sneezed. My apologies. John says the C1 tick, tick, tick. Yeah, I think we're getting really close to the C1 arriving. I wouldn't be surprised sometime in April, but I have not heard that officially, but we just keep getting hints from others. So John says lighter fluid. That's what I can clean the foams with. I can go try that. Or at least we use lighter fluids at Ross. Okay. Yeah, Josh, they were getting better. I'll give them a good cleaning and give some more laps. But yeah, the foam isn't great on plastic. Welcome to foam rubber on a silicone track. Exactly. It's clean. John, do you think it will get hit with the tariffs on the C1? Chris, that's a good question. I'm hoping that the C1s are already here, but that could be a big problem for resellers because they've already pre-sold this car at a certain price. So that could be bad for distribution, and they probably lose any kind of margin and probably take a bath on those cars if that doesn't happen. But I'm trying to decide, are these being made in Vietnam or are they being made in China? Because I think that they were working out a tariff deal. Vietnam was one of the first countries that reached out, I think. So, yeah, we've got a lot to learn, Chris, about what's going to happen with the hobby and how it's going to impact it. Kind of had a dream last night. I woke up to this morning, and we were arguing on the live stream, not arguing, but we were talking about how we've lost brands because resellers are not ordering them. Now, this isn't what happened. This is just what we were talking about in my dream. That like we no longer could get like some of our favorite brands in the United States. And so like George and Dave and Harry and some of those guys were talking about, okay, how do we respond to that here in the United States? So we can no longer get NSR. We can no longer get because people weren't willing to take the tariff hit. So they just, LEB and all of those in my dream, they just cut them off and said, we're just not going to order those cars and from those brands because of the tariffs. And that would kind of stink, but I could see where some of these brands that might happen, especially if it's, brands that don't sell as well as others, that dealers might have to make choices. So Dave Kennedy had a whole live stream about, they already talked about that, or whole video, that people don't realize that tariffs are paid at the port of entry by the people who ordered them, not by the country or company that they came from. So it still impacts them, but we are the ones who end up paying. We won't see Marty any more. Cars will be on fire. That's funny. Polyurethane works okay on the plastic. Depends on the shore. Some of the harder stuff doesn't work as well, but some of the softer stuff. I've got some Bobcat tires that are pretty soft, shore urethanes that hook up really good on the plastic track. If foam tires haven't gotten hard, they can work okay on plastic. I had a Womp LMP car that was pretty fun to drive. Dan, you have about 50% getting on your wireless mic. On my wireless. Oh, do I have gate on? Let me see. I probably do have some gate on that. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I'll look at that. Dan, I think you told me that once before. I need to work on that. I just need to not forget. She said that too, Chris. Marty's learned the ways of Massimo. JD, the drifting, that's part of the fun. The car's heavy enough to stay in the slot. So it doesn't automatically, when it goes into the drift, it will drift through the turn and pretty much stay in the slot except for the very first turn. The tires weren't really clean, and I didn't. The Neumann is way too loud. Okay, I'll back it off. It might be me jumping into it too, Dan. But yeah, it drifts really well. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, needs to come to Florida. No silicones. Is that always your David asked if that's always my test lane. Actually, no. The red lane is not normally my test lane. I usually test in the white lane, which is just one outside of it. But I'm finding I've been running a bunch of laps on the red. I'm just trying to learn all the lanes. The lane that gets the least amount of traffic on this track is the blue lane, mainly because you're clear down on the end. But the blue lane is a long way around the track. It's about 8 feet longer than the yellow lane, the inside lane, because there's no overpass, which is part of the fun and the strategy when you're running, 4 lanes with with a bunch of people in a round robin format. Everybody's got to, run the lane. So, but my test lane normally is white, but I was testing that in red. Thanks for asking. Good question, David. Thanks for jumping in on the chat, too. Appreciate it. Feel like that might be the first, maybe second time. Wipe off my monitor. Let's see. Lighter fluid and a little bit of STP. Thanks, Vin. End of April, says Marco. About the C1 or the Miata? Yeah, Greg, I would imagine they worked well when you're painted. When my layout is finished, I'm going to use this track. Oh, the track honey, what Jen Cunningham gave me. I believe the cars will have better traction. That's why he used it. Yeah. Yeah, Warren. It, especially with all of those that are pre-sold. Yeah, I mean they might have to make a price adjustment if it's bad. Actually made in Bedford Falls. Therefore, you need to smear body lotion or suntan lotion onto them. That way they get soft again. Body lotion is what I use. Let the lotion soak in for a few moments. Cool, Bo. Bedford Falls, isn't that It's a Wonderful Life? STP is it's an oil treatment. Yep, STP oil treatment. Anthony. Yeah, you're right. Scientific Performance Technology. Yep, that's what I thought it meant, what it stood for. Dave, sticky toilet paper. Nice. Okay, that car was fun. That car was fun. Now, I don't know where it's going after me. I'll have it so I'm looking at it. It's got some suspension. Oh, no, wait, it's got some suspension in the motor pod. This is fascinating. This is a great design. I bet it's going to be a ball on a big wood track. Oh, Dan, never offended by that, man. I want to sound good. That's important to me. I appreciate the feedback. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was tracking. I knew what you meant. Yeah, not offended. I appreciate it. Josh Reed, lane must be on the floor then. Dusty, yeah. So Dusty's saying. So David asked that question earlier. Yeah, Dusty is always in the red lane. That's his test lane. I'm in the white lane, and then when John Mark's here, he's in the white lane. I usually run yellow. It's funny, we haven't really had 4 people here to be running all 4 on this layout yet. So coming soon, though. Coming soon. Yeah, John, that's who I feel the worst for, because they're the ones that's going to take the brunt, and then they don't have a choice but to pass it on to us, and that's that's what you hate, because you know that they don't want to do that, but they don't really have any choice. And they're important to us. We want them to survive. So, we'll pay it. If we want a slot car, we'll pay it. But hopefully it doesn't come to that, right? Yeah, JD, it's a fun car. I'm gonna run some more laps. Oh, it's 9:37. Gosh, about time to wrap up. You ever thought about putting foam boards underneath your track? Will kill the noise. I have. I've got carpet underneath of it, and it really helps a lot. But maybe if I ever rebuild it again, I might do something like that, Jamal. Yeah, guys. Does anyone around here make tires other than Swift? It looks tempting. Stinky toilet paper. There's all kinds of tire choices out there. There's super tires. There's quick slicks. There's Paul Gage. There are Bobcat tires. There's a lot of choices. Hey, Bruce. Glad you're here. Arrivederci. Thanks, Dickie, for tuning in, man. Good to have you. STP. That's my favorite STP. Stone Temple Pilots. Mark, I hope to see you at the show on the 27th. Oh, is that the Cleveland show? Hey, RTDL. Good evening. Just in time. Yeah, we're about to wrap up. I plan on being there at least on Sundays, assuming I have some money to spend. Dickie there normally run one of the middle lanes. I'm going to have to learn his gutter lanes at some point. Yeah, Josh usually runs, when he's here, he usually runs white. I think the last time you were here, though, you ran red, because I think Freder was. Oh, gosh. All right. So my camera just died. So I'm going to switch cameras and sign off. All right, guys. I think that means that I've gone too long. But it made it to 9:39. So what's happening is it's overheating. So probably can't hear me. So it is overheating. I saw the message this time on the camera. So I've got to figure out why it's overheating. That might be a battery issue. But guys, thanks for tuning in this week. I really appreciate you being here. This was fun. The Miata, I'm gonna run some more laps with it. So I'll probably have to do a video just to, because it's a cool car. But Jim Rose already did a great video on it. But thanks for tuning in this week, and as always, go have fun racing.